Hey, good morning. This is Eddie. I run a small service company out of Beloit, Wisconsin. This video is for Roof Maxx dealers and essentially anybody that is interested in getting in roof cleaning or is wondering about is soft washing something that you should do. I got a few minutes to talk out the scenarios of what to think about when you're about to clean a roof. What not to do, what to do. I've cleaned a great many roofs. I've learned from the greatest people in the industry. I've traveled the country and talked with everybody that does soft washing roofs. So I'll just go right out and say it. You know, Roof Maxx, they discourage soft washing in their dealer, certification. They don't like people putting bleach, sodium hypochlorite on shingles because in their mind you're further accelerating the drying out process. And if you're a dealer promoting eco-friendly, rejuvenating properties, then why would you spray, a chemical on a shingle that can dry it out? So, I want to say that Roof Maxx, they know their stuff. They're great people, and I am a dealer for Roof Maxx, and we're all trying our best to figure out the best solution to clean a shingle. So I thought I would film this video to debunk some myths out there. So when it comes to cleaning a roof, a few things you want to remember is you never want to brush the roof. I mean, sometimes you can brush moss off very gently, but it does have root structures into the shingle. So if you were to, get too aggressive, you can actually damage the shingles. So I wouldn't get too aggressive with that. And then, you never want to power wash a roof. There's a lot of companies out there that will rinse a roof after they apply some type of percarbonate-based bleach cleaner. And there's all kinds of goofy things out there. But keep in mind, if you do those roof cleaning methods, you don't want to use high pressure on an asphalt shingle ever. You can use high pressure tips, or you can use low volume, high volume, low pressure tips on your pressure washer. But really what it comes down to is how far you're putting the nozzle to the shingle. So depending on how much gallons per minute you have and how much pressure you're pushing out, you really just have to feel the situation out when you're rinsing down the shingle. Now, keep in mind, when you're in the roof cleaning, soft washing industry, in the business, time is money, and your time is very valuable. So, and safety is a key factor. So if you're up on a roof, just imagine yourself rinsing every single entire roof. It takes forever, and you got to harness off. It's not safe. So, the way the roofing the shingle manufacturers suggest to clean asphalt shingles is with sodium hypochlorite. Now, sodium hypochlorite is basically bleach. It's the exact same chemical they use to keep pools clean. Now, when you pour the bleach that you buy at a pool store into a pool, it's mixed with a bunch of water, so it's very, very diluted. So, and when you wash siding, you use sodium hypochlorite and some surfactants, diluted very much. If you would put your finger in straight pool shock, you'd feel it. It would burn, and you don't want to put that on asphalt shingles. So essentially, it's like if you were to have 3 gallons of bleach to 7 gallons of water is a good start. It's not going to clean everything at once. If your roof is extremely heavily soiled, what you want to do is get yourself a tank and mix 15 gallons of bleach and about 35 gallons of water if you have a 50-gallon tank. And then you can use your Roof Maxx 12-volt pump from Pressure Tech to apply this roof mix on the shingles. Now, spray it on there as if you're just painting the shingles. You don't want to have all kinds of runoff. You might watch videos of people doing roof cleaning, and they got soap lines everywhere. Chemical is money as well. So put as little amount as possible on the shingles to eliminate the amount of runoff, kind of like you would with your roof mix. You don't want to waste the oil. You don't want to waste your solution, because the more runoff you have when you're cleaning a roof, the greater risk you have to mess up plants. If the chemical you're using to kill living organisms on the shingle is strong enough to kill that stuff, it's going to be strong enough to kill a plant. So you have to be very conscious of your overspray, your runoffs on your gutters, your downspouts, underground drains. Who knows where they go? So oftentimes, you're going to have to redivert downspouts sometimes, or bag them. Make sure that your runoff is very minimal, and be conscious of that. Now, let's say you spray the roof. What you do is you're going to get results that day. Your black streaks are going to be gone. The lichen and the moss is going to turn white or yellow like cottage cheese. And you want to leave that there and let the rains naturally wash off the shingles. You don't want to go up there and power wash it off. Within a month or two, the hard rains, it's gonna naturally wash it off anyway. So just go to your job, spray the solution on there, all the black streaks are gone, the moss and the lichen turn color, everything's dead. Go to the next job. Simple. But you also want to make sure that you're taking care of your overspray. You don't want to get any plants. So you're going to have to use a garden hose, or I use a high volume power washer, 8 gallons a minute, to pre-wet all of my plants. First, I usually start with the root source, and really flood that plant a little bit, and then rinse down the plant. Give it a good drink of water, so that when any soap or any solution does land on it, it's not going to drink in that solution. So now you just got done treating the roof, and you did the whole roof. So usually what I do is I go down and I rinse everything down again, rinse the fascia boards, the J-channel, the trim, anything that my solution might have hit, windows, keep those wet. And then I'll go back on the roof again, and I'll reapply the shingles where it needs it. Generally, you may need to do 3 to 4 applications sometimes, depending how heavily soiled that roof is. But not every roof is the same. So now you've sprayed the roof, your roof is clean, and so if you move on, and the next day it rains, you may have issues with plants, because the water will reactivate the solution on the shingles. So what you want to do is buy something in the fertilizer section at box stores called gypsum and pellets, and just put a few handfuls of that where the water ends at the downspout, and that will actually neutralize the chemicals, so it won't affect any grass or the so that's a great way to fix that problem. Now, if it's not going to rain for a few days, 4 days, you're fine. Don't worry about that. So just keep in mind, when you're applying this chemical on the shingle, it's highly diluted. It's not straight bleach. So I hope this clears up any questions about soft washing and roof cleaning. If you ever have any further questions, first of all, you always want to wear eye protection, because if you get this stuff in your eye, it is the most painful thing you've ever experienced in your life. I've done it twice. Yeah, so don't ever get that done to you. And know your worth. Do not charge pennies for roof cleaning. There's a lot of roof cleaners out there that, man, it's so bad, and for me, in my area in South Wisconsin, I charge right around, on a smaller roof, around $450, $500. On a medium-sized houses, $650. You get into large houses, $950. And then you want to create your services in packages. So, you know, big mansions, you know, I'm at 1250, and you know, you should be in and out of these jobs within, you know, roughly 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, in and out. You know, the hardest part is rinsing the planes, keeping stuff. And then here's another big tip you want to, when you're applying this strong of a solution on shingles, and the house is painted, some Sherwin-Williams paints or the pigments in the paints react badly to the solution. So any hardy board houses or any painted surface that's not vinyl, you're going to want to do a test spot, like behind an air conditioner or something, and see how the chemical reacts. I usually spray straight chemical roof strength mix on the shingle, let it dwell. I'll go off and do something else and then come back and see what it looks like. And sometimes the paint will change a completely different color, and you're like, whoa, we're not cleaning this roof, and you just call off the job. You saved yourself a huge headache, because you can imagine trying to clean a shingle roof, and next thing you know, you've completely damaged the entire house, and now you got to pay for a paint job. So that would save you a lot of heartache there. Just trying to think if I forgot anything. Sorry for the long video, but you know, that's all I got. That's all I got. My cell, call or text me 815-520-6020. Thanks.